Welcome back to the Automotive Pulse channel. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about what-if cars in the luxury world right now, the 2027 Lincoln Continental. And before we go any further, let's be upfront with you, because we always want to keep things honest here on this channel. There is no officially confirmed 2027 Lincoln Continental coming from Ford's luxury division. Lincoln discontinued the Continental nameplate back in 2020, and right now the brand is fully focused on crossovers and SUVs like the Aviator, Corsair, Navigator, and Nautilus. What we're covering today is the buzz around unofficial concept renderings and fan-made revivals that have been circulating online from talented digital artists who have imagined what a modern Continental comeback could look like. So think of this less as a confirmed review and more as a deep dive into the dream car a lot of enthusiasts wish Lincoln would actually build. With that said, let's get into it. Starting with the exterior, the renderings we've seen take a lot of cues from the Continental's golden era design language, while giving it a thoroughly modern twist. Picture a long, low hood paired with a wide chrome grille up front, and in several of these concepts, the headlights are hidden behind that grille for an ultra-clean face when they're not in use. The body lines are smooth and uninterrupted, running from the front fender all the way back to a flat, elegant trunk lid that echoes the classic land yacht silhouette Lincoln was once famous for. Some versions feature hidden door handles that sit flush with the body for a sleek, uncluttered profile, while others go further and imagine a pillarless design with thin door frames and no visible B-pillar, giving the whole car a coupe-like elegance despite being a full four-door sedan. Chrome accents show up along the rocker panels, around the windows, and on the wheels, paying homage to the brand's chrome-heavy heritage without feeling dated. A few artists have even played with retro color palettes, like soft blues and warm champagne tones, which give the car a vintage personality while keeping the proportions thoroughly contemporary. It's the kind of design that would turn heads outside a five-star hotel just as easily as it would at a classic car meet. Stepping inside, the imagined cabin leans heavily into minimalism mixed with old-school luxury cues. Most renderings show a clean dashboard with very little button clutter, built around a slim, integrated infotainment screen rather than a giant tablet bolted onto the dash. Some concepts even imagine a screen that can rotate or tuck away when the driver wants a distraction-free view of the road, which is a nice nod to the idea that true luxury sometimes means knowing when to hide the technology rather than show it off. The instrument cluster keeps a traditional dual-gauge layout with a small digital display nested in the middle, blending the analog warmth people associate with classic Continentals with the convenience of modern trip and safety information. Materials throughout the cabin lean into soft leather, brushed metal trim, and open-pore wood accents, the kind of materials that say quiet confidence rather than flashy excess. Rear seat space is treated as a priority too, since the Continental has always been as much a chauffeur-driven status symbol as a driver's car. So expect generous legroom, plush bench-style comfort, and ambient lighting that sets a relaxed, lounge-like mood after dark. When it comes to performance, this is where the renderings really lean into fantasy, since there's no powertrain data from Lincoln to work with. The most common dream spec floating around enthusiast circles is a twin-turbo or supercharged V8 producing somewhere north of 600 horsepower, paired with a smooth-shifting automatic transmission, and the option of rear-wheel drive for purists or all-wheel drive for everyday usability. Some fans argue a hybrid setup would make more sense given where the industry is headed, possibly pairing a turbocharged six-cylinder with an electric motor to balance that big V8 character with better efficiency and emissions numbers. There's also been talk in enthusiast forums about borrowing a power-split hybrid architecture, similar to what some Chinese luxury rivals are now using, blending a turbocharged 6- or 8-cylinder engine with electric assistance for both smoothness and decent fuel economy. Whatever route a real Continental revival might take, the consensus among fans seems to be that it should feel effortless on the highway, quiet at idle, and confident rather than aggressive. More of a luxury cruiser than a sports sedan, true to what made the nameplate special in the first place. Now let's talk price, And again, this is purely speculative since there's no factory sticker to reference. If Lincoln ever did greenlight a true flagship revival, positioned to compete with the Mercedes-Maybach S-Class, Bentley Flying Spur, or Rolls-Royce Ghost. Most industry watchers estimate a starting price somewhere in the neighborhood of $90,000 to $120,000, with fully loaded trims potentially climbing well past $150,000, depending on options and customization. That would represent a massive shift for Lincoln, since their current lineup tops out with the Navigator in the $100,000 range. But a true flagship sedan built to rival the world's most prestigious luxury brands would almost certainly need to play in that same price bracket to be taken seriously. So why isn't this happening? The honest answer comes down to numbers. Sedans across the board have seen declining sales for years, while crossovers and SUVs continue to dominate buyer preferences. And large luxury sedans are particularly expensive to develop for what's become a shrinking slice of the market. Ford has made it clear that Lincoln's strategy revolves around SUVs and crossovers, because that's where the profit margins live right now. That said, the constant stream of fan renderings, the passionate comments under every concept post, and the genuine nostalgia for the Continental nameplate suggest there's still real demand out there if Lincoln ever wanted to make a bold move. So that's our deep dive into the dream that is the 2027 Lincoln Continental. It's not real, at least not yet, but it's clearly a car a lot of people wish existed. If Lincoln ever does decide to bring the Continental back from the dead, you can bet we'll be the first to break it down right here on Automotive Pulse. Let us know in the comments which design details you loved most, and whether you'd want a V8 land yacht or a more efficient hybrid flagship if Lincoln ever made this dream a reality. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more automotive deep dives, and we'll see you in the next one.